in many locations across 3 states, teaching various grades and combinations of, and for 18 months actually being a principal and sole teacher of a small school that involved teaching 7 grades at one time to every subject every day. I took my responsibilities very seriously and spent most Sundays and evenings, and contrary to popular opinion about what teachers may do on their holidays, I was actually doing a lot of my holiday time on schoolwork. I loved teaching, I loved making a difference in people's lives. But the constant worry of never being finished and trying to do more for each student and not living my own life outside of work hours was running me down. I wanted a clock on, clock off job. I knew I would be a great asset to any business as a checkout chick or a receptionist. But after various applications and phone calls, I was becoming discouraged. Why wouldn't someone want to employ an intelligent, efficient, organised and friendly, mature-aged woman? I had never been in a prison or known a prisoner, although my husband almost ended up in jail before my time. So this friend mentioned various types of duties a corrective services officer may be required to do from day to day in a corrective service facility. I don't think that's for me. Later that night I was contemplating the fact that I had nothing else on offer, so why not? I got online, put in an application, expected to hear nothing, and waited. And 4 months later, after some rigorous assessments that included interviews, online testing and physical assessment, I was starting a 10-week training program that included 2 separate weeks of work placement. The training was very interesting, covering a range of topics: mental health, unit and case management, multicultural and Indigenous awareness and needs, use of force, control and restraint, crime scene preservation, firearms, and even being gassed, so we knew what it would be like. Oh, marching in parade. But I loved it. So 5 months on, I'm still really enjoying it. I can see how so many skills I've developed over the years of being a teacher are beneficial to this occupation. All the other officers in my training group came from various career backgrounds, and it's been interesting to see how they've used their knowledge and experience to adapt to their new role. Originally, I was placed in the Brisbane Magistrates Court and Brisbane Supreme Court courts. That was an eye-opener as to how the whole process of people coming into prison commences. I'm now currently positioned at the Escorts branch that does the transportation of prisoners to various locations on a daily basis for various needs that they may have. Security is of utmost importance, and the days are interesting. It can often end up very different to what was anticipated at the start. I use my teaching skills, such as keeping count of prisoners, restraints, and numbers for other things, guiding, supervising, monitoring and reporting the people we move, adapting to specific prisoner needs that may arise, and at times report writing is still required, but of a different kind. At this point in time, I'm very satisfied with where I'm at. I think it's a bit better than being a checkout chick. I work with a great group of people and know they've got my back. I can see that there are so many other avenues that one can take within the corrective services that are more specialised. And I've had a reality check and realised I'm too old to join the dog squad. But I'm looking forward to learning whatever I can wherever I am.
Hey everybody, my name is Stu. As Rosalie said, she didn't want to be a checkout chick for the rest of her life. I was the same. I came to the corner fish and chip shops, working there with my family, but I wanted something more exciting to go to. So I started shopping around, looking around to find something with Queensland Police. It's getting a bit too hard to get into there. I had to study a little bit more. So chose the prison service. I looked at the prison service. I've been there now for 22 years. In those 22 years, the Department of Corrective Services has guided me to the way I wanted to go, and that is studying. It's given me the opportunity to serve 3 in corrections, serve 4 in corrections. I've become in charge of the Barringer iron scan drug detection machines. We had to do those. There was drug detection machines, so basically visitors who were coming inside the centre, we would swab them like you see at customs at the airports, and that's part of what we were doing. From there, then I became a CERT leader, an emergency response leader, and a CERT officer. Basically, those are the boys who run around in blacks, pyjamas. Okay, they don't need serious business. Right? They're not pyjamas that will go to bed. Okay, and then from there on, I moved from there now, and I'm out of the jail and working for Escort and Security Branch. Escort and Security Branch is basically just not one thing as you hear it, Escort and Security Branch. We have under us, we have the courts, which we have two officers here from the courts, Jeremy and Claire. They're from Brisbane Magistrates Courts and Supreme Courts, and I'll speak to you about that as well. ESB, basically, where I am with Rosalie. I'm now a supervisor there at Escort and Security Branch. What I do there basically is my role is to get all the information that we require for the next day of transporting prisoners, high-risk prisoners, pregnant mothers from the jails, people we've got to take to the AMU, to the AIDS clinics, things like that we've got to do. We've got to collate all this information, put it all together and make it all work out and send our trucks wherever they need to go, making sure that they've got duty care to the prisoners and to themselves and to the public, protect the public at all times. That's our main response. It is a good job. It is a very, very good job. As you can see, we wear all the new fashionable gear. Okay. But you can't take these home at night. Okay, so that's that. I've got a bit of a speech here that they wanted me to say. Okay. Queensland Corrective Services is a partnership with other key criminal justice agencies. Its commitment to the critical role of community safety and crime prevention through the humane containment, supervision and rehabilitation of offenders. QCS subscribes to 5 key values: integrity, we act ethically, honestly, impartially and in the best interest of the community. Accountability, we are publicly accountable for our actions, working together as we work all together. We work in collaboration with our colleagues and stakeholders and the community. Learning, we value creativity, innovation, flexibility and continual improvement in the pursuit of excellence. The diversity, as I said, fish and chip boy, we treat all people with respect and value differences. While QCS operates correctional centres, district offices, reporting centres across the state, we also actively work in integrity offender management systems to ensure that all offenders are provided with the appropriate classification, supervision, as well as programs, education, vocational training that will maximise their chance to reintegrate successfully into society. So that's basically an overview of what we are and what we do. There's a lot of things that you can learn with corrective services. You know, you don't think that you see a big jail, that you see what the Americans do and what everybody else does. The jail is a jail here, and there is courses for the prisoners, there's working environments for them and everything. If you think it's a very big, scary place, yes, it can be a very big, scary place, but you've got the support of your work colleagues at all times. Okay. Just before I finish off as well, I will give you to Jeremy. He'll talk to you about the Supreme Courts or the Magistrates Courts. If you need to talk to us about anything, we have a van outside later on if you just want to have a look at what a prison van looks like. Okay, it's one of our wheelchair vans as well. It will be fully open, you can go in and have a look. And please don't be afraid to ask us questions, as much as ugly as I look, it's scary. Okay? They actually told me to grow hair, so it didn't look scary. So, okay? So I'll pass you on to Jeremy. Thank you.
Hey everyone. I like Rosalie, also would have been a great checkout chick. But no, I'm Jeremy. finished my Bachelor of Criminology in 2012, and from there, my main goal was to go to the police, and that's what I was aspiring for pretty much my whole degree. And I went for the whole process and came to the physical, and turns out I'm colourblind, and so I wasn't able to get in. And that was a bit of guts, but the thing with the whole degree of criminology is you've got so many paths that you actually can go down. And as I found out, corrections, which is kind of similar to the police but a little bit different, was one of them. And I was able to, I guess, get a position there. And I work in the courts unit at the Supreme District and Magistrates Courts. And it's been a pretty good experience. I mean, my whole life I worked kind of pleb jobs where every single day would be the same thing. Like worked at KFC, just go up on the floor and cook a chicken. That was rubbish. Yeah, same with McDonald's, and I worked at the cinemas, just sweeping up popcorn. But yeah, the thing that I hated the most was it was the same every day. And like the probation parole girl said as well, it's different every day, and that's what I like the most about it. You know, every day's a new day. You learn something different, and I mean, it's good fun. A lot of the people you work with are really cool as well. Sometimes, the Supreme District Courts, pretty much all the cool stuff that you hear about on the news goes through there. We get to see it all. I mean, all the murders and the sex offences and all that cool stuff, you know. It's not cool. It's interesting. But I'm much better at telling stories one-on-one. Public speaking one-on-one. But no, it's a real good job. And I guess I'll hand over to Claire for Claire has been in the job for about 2 years now. She has started doing admin at the courts, which is fun, but she's just a regular officer like all of us. As far as how new she is and how scary looking she is, she's looking small, so anyone can literally do it. I mean that in the sense that